Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. Today is 16 for Scraptember, and the prompt is paper tearing, which I love. I feel like I've already torn paper a lot this month, but on this page, I'm going to make it a challenge. Every single pattern paper I'm putting on this layout is going to be torn, including the background. So I had a lot of fun with this one. I have a couple photos to scrap from Minnesota when my aunt Helen took me and my mom into the little Stillwater town that's near her house for a day. This town is super cute. We've visited Minnesota like once a year, if not more, for my entire life, and I'd have never been to Stillwater. And it was so cute. It's just this little town that has like, I don't even know how to describe it. There's lots of cute little shops, and it's very scenic, and there's a lot of history there. As far as I can remember, I probably should have looked this up before I started the process video, but from what I remember being here was that this is one of the first cities in Minnesota, and at one point it was the largest city of Minnesota because of the logging company and because of this river that really helped with transporting the goods. So it used to be a really big deal, and now it's just this really cute historic town in Minnesota. So I wanted to document a couple of things that we did. I wish I took more pictures because we saw and did so much like fun stuff here. But I did not take very many pictures, so I'm gonna document the ones that I have. We kind of started off by doing a flight of beers at this one really cute brewery on the river. I don't have any pictures from that, but we kind of window shopped. We went to antique malls. We went to this one picture on the bottom is one of the stores down there, and it's olive oil and vinegar company, and you can basically taste, test, and mix and match your dressings. So it was really cool. Everything, like all the flavors that went into it, it was so good. I got some as a souvenir, and I'm still hoarding them and haven't used them yet. But it was really fun. I've never seen something like that where you could taste test like things like that. I don't know. It's really hard to describe, but it was really good, and it was really fun to mix and match all the different flavors. So that's the one photo with all the big silver canisters. And then that top photo is kind of after we explored everywhere and we just wanted to sit and relax with a view. We went to the rooftop of, I'm pretty sure it was a hotel, but they had a bar on the roof. So we went up there just to get a drink and relax. And it was a lot of fun, and it was very scenic, and there's actually a wedding going on right below us that we were able to watch from the rooftop. But it was just beautiful. They have these big river boats that go through, and you get to see the bridge kind of lift up to let them through and all of that. I don't know, it was just very beautiful and fun to hang out here. So I'm gluing both of these photos together. There's a lot of dead space in that top photo, so I just trimmed off like the extra part of the sky that I didn't need to see, and I matted that in white. I'm trying to ink everything in brown. I really wanted to go for these neutral colors, but pull in that scrap of blue from a previous page just because we have the blue of the sky and the water. But I really wanted to keep this one neutral, so I'm inking everything in brown. I'm tearing every pattern paper layer. So I went ahead and matted those photos onto this blue and tore and inked the bottom of that. I had a scrap piece of a different blue paper that I tore the bottom of as a border strip. I only had a scrap of this little woodland creature pattern paper, but it was in that neutral tone and introduced some gold that I was wanting to pull into this page. So I used that as another horizontal strip with a tear along the bottom. I had to cheat a little bit with that because it was kind of a small scrap, but I like that. And then now I'm trying to mark where my layers are so I can gut the background. These more neutral papers this month I'm really trying to salvage because I love all the pattern papers in this collection, but some of them are very, very busy, especially the multicolored ones. So I'm trying to salvage these more neutral papers because I feel like I'm going to need them down the road with some of the busier papers to help break it up a little bit. So I'm just gutting that section that's going to be behind my photos. I'm backing this with my scrap piece of black, and now I'm going to finally glue down all of the layers. This is pretty much the paper layers. I haven't at this point decided to tear the background paper. But once I get towards the end, I'm like, I need to really do some more paper tearing and add some interest. I feel like there's just too much like space at the top of this layout. So I knew I wanted to do my title up there to fill it in a little bit, but it was still too open. So the paper tearing really helped. And there's a lot of paper tearing on the bottom here with all these layers. So I liked the idea of mirroring that with a lot of torn stuff at the top as well. So it just takes me a minute to kind of come to that decision. I'm still focused on these layers here at the bottom. But I did want to go ahead and add some more gold, just because there's gold in that one woodland pattern paper, and so far there's no other gold on this page. So I'm pulling in that arrow washi tape I used on the last page, just for a little bit more gold and an extra layer. And then because I'm trying to pull gold in, I decided to get another one of these feathers on this page. These are just so cute. I love using them in my clusters and just kind of having them be the little star of the show. So I also wanted to get some more of these chipboard bugs used up. So I took the 2 ladybugs, and I'm really hoping I can use them on this page. So I just felt like with the neutral tones and everything, I could use them raw and they'd look really nice, and I wouldn't have to worry about painting them. So I am going to pop up the ladybug that's going over the feather with some foam, so there's a little bit of dimension. The other ladybug, I feel like doesn't really need that because it's not going over a bunch of other things. But I do have my doily and glassine bag kind of as the base for that cluster. I glued down that gold feather, and now I'm trying to figure out how to back this ladybug without you being able to see all of the foam. So I'm trying to be strategic about where I put all of these foam pieces so you don't see them when it's stuck down, which I think I did okay. I had to cut these already small foam squares into quarters to get pieces small enough to where you couldn't see them through the little die cut parts. But it's going to take me a minute to kind of figure that out. But I like that there's 2 of these butterflies. I think they'll help frame the photos really nicely. So that's why I decided, okay, if I have this butterfly with the feather on the right, I want the other ladybug, did I say butterfly? Ladybug in the upper left. So it's framing the photos, and it'll help introduce the title that I'm planning on being at the top. So that's the goal. Sticking down that one, I think that looks really cute. And I think I'm glad I did the doily and the glassine bag to add that white area so you could really see the ladybug. And then I went and got these. I'm pretty sure they're Fitzgerald thickers, but I love them because they're gold glitter, but the foam is navy. So I felt like they went perfect with this layout because you see the gold right away on the top. And I think it ties in with the feather really nicely. But if you see the title from any kind of angle, you get the navy foam that's underneath the gold. And with the blue on this layout, it just was perfect. So I'm spelling out Stillwater, which is the name of the town. I started spacing it out too far to the right, so I started closer to the butterfly and then just shifted a couple things over, and I like this better. And now that I have the title down, I'm thinking, okay, I have the title at the top, the feather on the right. I want a little bit of gold on the opposite side to kind of create a visual triangle with the gold. So I went back to the thicker sheet and pulled out some asterisks to kind of do a little cluster in the lower left-hand corner. And then this is where I decide, okay, there's still a bunch of open space even after I did the title. I need to do something more interesting at the top. And since the prompt is paper tearing, that's what I decided to do. So I'm taking a scrap piece of white that I have and gluing it to the top of the page. So I still will have those 12 inches, but I'm going to tear kind of the excess brown away. So you see the white underneath and you get, you know, more texture and more paper tearing. Of course, since I've already backed the back of this in that with that black, I had to tear the black as well, and so I had to kind of go back and clean it up a little bit. But I love this, and I'm going to ink the top of those torn pieces too, and the white, so it kind of goes with the rest of the page. And then I kind of felt like it still wasn't enough, so I went and grabbed a scrap of the blue and tore a diagonal piece to kind of tuck up into a little peekaboo, just so I have a little bit of the blue at the top of the page too. I felt like, okay, the white kind of helped to break up all that extra space, but now it's too blank, even with the inking, which did help. But I tore a piece of blue to add up there, and I feel like that was the perfect thing that it needed to help kind of finish it off. I am adding some more washi tape up there too, so you kind of get a glimmer of the gold and that another area where that arrow pattern is, so it kind of balances out the strip I did on the bottom. But this is the piece I really feel finished the page off, was just adding a little peak of blue up at the top. I think that really helped balance out the colors. So I'm just going to ink that as well and add it into the upper right hand corner. And I love that. And then I wanted a finishing touch, but I already used the asterisks from the foam sheet. So I decided instead of all 3 asterisks being in the lower left hand corner, I would do 1 asterisk in each cluster and then add in periods from the alpha sheet to kind of finish it out. So there was still a cluster of 3 gold things in each area. And here are the close-ups. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out the Scraptember 2023 playlist in the description to follow along with everyone else playing along with prompts this month. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.